totally enclosed fan-cooled, or TEFC, motor can be installed in a Class 1, Division 2, Group B rated area, even if the motor nameplate lacks a specific group rating. This allowance stems from the National Electrical Code, or NEC, which doesn't mandate group ratings for TEFC motors in such applications. The critical factor is ensuring the motor is suitable for the class and division of the location where it's being installed. Understanding hazardous locations is crucial in electrical engineering. These locations are classified based on the type of hazardous material present and the likelihood of its presence. Class 1 locations involve flammable gases or vapors. Division 1 signifies that the hazardous material is likely to be present under normal operating conditions. Division 2 indicates that the hazardous material is present only under abnormal conditions such as equipment failure or leakage. Groups further categorize the hazardous materials based on their ignition characteristics. Group A includes acetylene, Group B includes hydrogen, or gases or vapors of equivalent hazard such as manufactured gas. Group C includes ethyl ether, ethylene, or gases or vapors of equivalent hazard. And Group D includes gasoline, hexane, naphtha, benzene, butane, propane, alcohol, acetone, benzol, lacquer solvent vapors, or natural gas. The NEC Article 500 covers hazardous locations and provides detailed guidelines for electrical equipment installation. Article 501 specifically addresses Class 1 locations. When selecting a motor for a hazardous location, several factors must be considered. Firstly, the motor's enclosure type. Secondly, its temperature rating. And thirdly, its suitability for the specific hazardous material present. A TEFC motor is designed to prevent the free exchange of air between the inside and outside of the motor enclosure, but it's not necessarily explosion-proof. An explosion-proof motor is designed to contain an internal explosion without causing a fire or explosion in the surrounding atmosphere. For Class 1, Division 1 locations, explosion-proof motors are generally required. However, for Class 1, Division 2 locations, other types of enclosures, like TEFC, are permitted under certain conditions as long as they do not contain any sources of ignition. The NEC Section 501.125b permits the use of TEFC motors in Class 1, Division 2 locations, provided the motor doesn't have arc-producing devices such as brushes or switching mechanisms. This allowance is based on the understanding that in Division 2 locations the risk of hazardous material presence is lower and a TEFC motor offers sufficient protection against ignition under abnormal conditions. The absence of a group rating on the motor nameplate doesn't automatically disqualify it from use in a Group B area. The NEC doesn't require TEFC motors to have group ratings, particularly when they meet other requirements for Division 2 locations. However, it is the installer's responsibility to ensure that the motor is suitable for the specific hazardous material present. This suitability is determined by considering the motor's temperature rating and ensuring that it doesn't exceed the ignition temperature of the hazardous material. Motor temperature rating, or T-code, indicates the maximum surface temperature the motor can reach during operation. This temperature must be below the auto-ignition temperature of the surrounding gas or vapor to prevent ignition. The NEC provides tables listing the auto-ignition temperatures of various hazardous materials, allowing for comparison with the motor's T-code. When installing a TEFC motor in a Class 1, Division 2, Group B location, several key steps should be followed. Firstly, verify that the motor doesn't have arc-producing devices. Secondly, check the motor's temperature rating to ensure it's below the ignition temperature of the Group B gas or vapor. Thirdly, ensure the motor is properly grounded to prevent static electricity buildup. And fourthly, follow all applicable NEC guidelines for wiring and connections in hazardous locations. Proper grounding is essential to prevent static discharge, which could ignite flammable materials. Wiring methods in hazardous locations must also comply with NEC requirements, including the use of conduit seals to prevent the spread of flammable vapors or gases. Conduit seals are typically installed at the boundary between a hazardous and non-hazardous location, or where conduit enters an enclosure containing electrical equipment. They are filled with a sealing compound to create a barrier against the passage of gases or vapors. Selection of appropriate wiring and sealing methods is crucial to maintain the integrity of the electrical system and prevent explosions. In addition to the NEC, other standards and regulations may apply to motor installations in hazardous locations, such as those from the National Fire Protection Association, or NFPA, and Occupational Safety and Health Administration, or OSHA. These standards provide additional guidance on safety practices and equipment requirements. Compliance with all applicable codes and standards is essential to ensure a safe and reliable installation. Regular inspections and maintenance are also crucial to maintain the integrity of the electrical system in hazardous locations. Inspections should include checking for signs of damage or deterioration, verifying proper grounding, and ensuring that conduit seals are intact. Maintenance should include lubricating motor bearings, cleaning the motor enclosure, and replacing any worn or damaged components. Furthermore, consider specific characteristics of Group B gases such as hydrogen. Hydrogen has a very low ignition energy and a wide flammability range. This means that even small amounts of hydrogen can be easily ignited. Therefore, extra precautions are necessary when installing electrical equipment in Group B locations. These precautions may include using explosion-proof enclosures, intrinsically safe circuits, or other specialized equipment designed for use in hydrogen atmospheres. Intrinsically safe circuits limit the amount of energy available in the circuit to a level that is too low to ignite the hazardous material. This approach is often used in instrumentation and control systems in hazardous locations. When selecting electrical equipment for hazardous locations, it is essential to consult with a qualified electrical engineer or other expert who has experience in this area. These professionals can help you select the appropriate equipment and ensure that the installation complies with all applicable codes and standards. Remember that installing electrical equipment in hazardous locations is a complex and potentially dangerous task. It should only be performed by qualified individuals who have the necessary training and experience. Failure to follow proper procedures can result in serious injury or death, as well as property damage. The NEC provides a comprehensive framework for ensuring electrical safety in hazardous locations. By understanding and following these guidelines, you can minimize the risk of fire and explosion. Always consult the latest edition of the NEC and other applicable codes and standards before performing any electrical work in hazardous locations. If there are any doubts about the suitability of a particular motor or other electrical equipment for hazardous location, it is always best to err on the side of caution and consult with a qualified expert. Remember to always prioritize safety when working with electricity in hazardous locations. Adherence to the NEC and other applicable codes and standards is paramount for protecting people and property from the dangers of fire and explosion. In summary, the NEC allows the installation of TEFC motors in Class 1, Division 2, Group B locations, even without a group rating on the motor nameplate, provided the motor does not contain arc-producing devices and its temperature rating is suitable for the hazardous material present. Always prioritize safety and consult with qualified professionals to ensure compliance with all applicable codes and standards.